It does now seem likely that sometime in the last couple of days there's been perhaps the worst accident in the short history of the world's nuclear power industry. The Russians may have been hoping they could contain it without having to release the news.
It seems like everyone's been watching and enjoying the new show Chernobyl, with the exception of the Russian government. It's a fantastically horrifying show with a big environmental and political message that's quite topical in today's world.
Now, after watching the show, visiting Chernobyl sounds scary, dangerous, and most of all, expensive. But what if I told you you could visit the fascinating disaster of Chernobyl without even leaving your home?
There's a lot of virtual ways to explore Chernobyl, and it's a particular feel I'm going for. The eerie sense of walking through an abandoned town taken over by nature, the worry of being exposed to too much radiation, and the epic scale of the plant itself. Starting off with our first free experience of Chernobyl, Warface. Warface was a game that came out in 2015 on PC, Xbox One, and PS4. It was even on 360, but they cut that cord quick. Similar to your Call of Duties and Counter-Strikes, it's a fast-paced modern shooter with a focus on game feel rather than items and gimmicks. But little did I know that in 2017, Warface came out with a free content pack that let you fight your way through the streets of a radiation-filled Pripyat. Unfortunately, you're going to have to work for it. It's no download and play, you gotta reach level 5.
Welcome to Chernobyl, fellas. I'm old enough to remember when this place went critical. Today you'll face not only radiation, but as always, Blackwood forces. What you're here to uncover is what they're up to.
As the commander said, we're up against Blackwood, who are the all-purpose bad guys for this game. It's a co-op mission, so I've got my mates I've been paired up with. Tipper77, Petrovic, Christix39, and the two boys 71024508. But there must have been too much radiation because everyone left the game. Oh, at least we still got Christix. I had a sniper class equipped because I had trouble changing it, but my pistol worked as a good backup weapon. The sniper paid off at one point, but I still think it was a bad choice. Blackwood have got these creepy cyborgs that pick up whack material on the ground. I think they're harmless, but we just ended up shooting them all. This is the real baseball pitch that can be found in the real Pripyat. Now this is a beautiful recreation of the real world swimming pool. We had a bit of a struggle here because of my weapon choice, but we made it through. So the goal is to reach the top of this tower and kill the Blackwood forces or stop them. I'm not really sure. It's just about having fun. There's one thing stopping us now, it's this helicopter. My life choices made me very wary of our completion on this mission, but I had hope that Christix and I would see it through to the end. Unfortunately, Christix took a fatal shot and I was left defending his body until the end came. That was fun. Another game free of charge is Severium. It's another first-person shooter, this one with more realistic gunplay and injury systems. The game isn't set in Chernobyl, but it's set in a Soviet-styled radioactive apocalypse. It's got your basic game modes, team deathmatch, domination, oddball. There's also some team-based missions against bots. The customization is quite extensive, but unfortunately it'll take a lot of grinding to get good guns, attachments and armor. There's pockets of radiation to avoid, visualized by skewing your vision. On top of that, there are radioactive filled power-ups called artifacts, giving you powerful poison grenades, speed-ups, extra health and more. Something that made me pick this game up is its gorgeous design and its really eerie maps. With their excellent sound design, it's almost frightening moving through corridors whilst listening out for enemy footsteps, avoiding windows in case of snipers, and hoping your path isn't blocked by radiation. The game is a bit pay to win, but if you enjoy playing, the Ultimate Steam Starter Pack is only £6.99. I feel like it's the best option if you want to get your foot in the door, with all these high level characters playing at the moment. Since I was the last active player, they've added a new London map, which is good to see them branching out. For our last free experience. We live in a world where anyone can communicate, research, and create. If there's a connection to the internet, there will always be something to do. You can learn how to use a new piece of tech, order food online. You can even see places you'll never be able to visit. That's right, I'm talking Google Earth. I'm going to be entering the VR domain for maximum immersion. But you can use pretty much anything with an internet connection to do this. So let's start. Arriving at the checkpoint, it doesn't seem like they're guarding anything, with all this plant overgrowth. You can see how the wildlife has taken over here as well. On the top floor of the Sports and Recreation Centre, you can see the power plant. The Ferris wheel, one of the biggest landmarks of the town. The basketball court that we saw in Warface. And hey, even the swimming pool. Some of the most eerie stuff is in the power plant itself. But I would really recommend you all to see this yourself. For something that doesn't cost a penny, it's worth checking out. Unfortunately, Google has removed the 3D models of Pripyat and the power plant, but you can still discover a lot by just going through the buildings and streets. Chernobyl Commando. Chernobyl Commando was released back in 2013, made from the studio responsible for the classics Farm Expert 2017, Farm Expert 2016, Farm Machines Championship 2014. There was a lot I wanted to talk about regarding this game, but I realised that I'm putting way too much effort in. Let me just show you what it's like.
That area leads through the cooling towers. That's where we cross.
Time to leave. Get to the car. Hurry!
I got bored of the graphics, so I installed Reshade to amp up the visuals. It's bland, repetitive, and very glitchy. The music loops constantly without a transition. The obstacles stop loading at a certain point, making the sniper useless, and you've got two of them. And after 2 hours of play, this is where I snapped. It's a game from a time where a lot of developers tried to emulate the cheap linear shooter genre that Call of Duty made mainstream back in the end of the noughties. I would recommend avoiding this one, as you've already seen there's better and cheaper alternatives than this radioactive pile of shit. Stalker: Shadow of Chernobyl. Stalker's one of those Marmite games. You either passionately love it, broken, absolutely and utterly broken. Not the game, oh no. It's my fragile nerves that have been shattered. Adrenaline is coursing through my veins as I type, and what's more, I absolutely love it. Stalker is a thoroughly affecting game, and it's got me by the short hairs. Do not play this game. Edit. I was not paid to write this, as I knew people would say, but if someone wants to give me some money, I would accept. If you play Stalker: Shadow of Chernobyl, you must play Lost Alpha instead. There is absolutely no reason not to. It's like the 2017 version of Stalker. All of the same storylines have been converted and much easier to understand. The environment design skills of the Lost Alpha team makes GSC look like amateurs. Or you can't stand the stuff.
Good atmosphere, boring gameplay.
Buggy piece of trash that crashes if you press any button. As you can see, I can't even play it. Anytime I change the settings, options, it crashes.
The game is set in an alternate reality where a second nuclear disaster occurs at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, which infects the area with strange creatures, plants and otherworldly phenomenons. You play as a stalker. A quick rundown is all in the name. Stalker stands for scavenger, trespasser, adventurer, loner, killer, explorer, robber. Your tasks are normally simple in theory, but in most cases the world is the big obstacle you need to tackle. Having lost your memory, you'll take on jobs for factions, but in the end you return to the place that started it all, the power plant. You might describe Stalker as a bit janky, especially in the glitch department. The AI is extremely intelligent for a game that came out in 2007, but there's a lot of situations where the game can't handle the environment or just wants to have a wobble, causing the AI to whack out. I would really recommend this to survival game fans. It's a bit overwhelming at the start, but it's very satisfying when you get stuck in. There's also a planned sequel in the works, claiming to come out in 2021, but this is the second announcement from the game after a cancellation back in 2001. Also, just a quick one, the Metro series of games are fantastic as well. They've got a really claustrophobic nuclear feel, with the most recent game being open world. I didn't want to include this in here because of it not being set in Chernobyl, and that the only experience I've had with the new game is playing the demo at EGX last year. But I have just picked up Xbox Game Pass, so I'll be able to take a crack at it soon. The most iconic Call of Duty level, and probably the most well-known representation of Chernobyl in video games. Yep, it's Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. More specifically, the mission All Gillied Up. It's a stealth mission. You've been given a silenced sniper and pistol, working alongside Captain Macmillan to find and assassinate Zakhaev. On your way, you'll have to sneak past enemies, tanks, and dogs. At the point in which you pass through these metal containers, it gets a bit ridiculous. Running around, but still unseen. I think it's the atmosphere that draws me back to this level. It definitely divulges into action set pieces in the next mission, but you can see the care placed in every detail of the recreation of Pripyat. A great place to explore, but the action gets in the way of sightseeing. But what if you could explore Chernobyl free from the restrictions of this mission?
And did you know that Chernobyl has appeared in every Modern Warfare game? In the third, you see through the eyes of Yuri as you watch Zakhaev get assassinated. And in the second, now listen, don't go spreading this around, because who knows who's watching. Not many people know this, but Modern Warfare 2 has a complete copy-paste of the Chernobyl map featured in the first game. Some of you know what I'm talking about, but that's not all. Here's the rundown. There's a special operations mission where you play the map in reverse, starting from the metal containers by the entrance to Chernobyl and walking all the way down to the grassy field where you first meet Captain McMillan. I know what you're thinking. What's the point? You'll end up further away from the power plant.
Let's do this.
So, look at this.
Watch for postmarking radiation pockets.
Watch out for the snipers. Alright, come to these cars. Over here. Jump over here. Yeah, pretty simple enough. Jump to this. Yes. Over here. And we jump over here. Oh. Now, we're outside the map. And they haven't copied over the radiation hotspots, so you're free to explore around.
When exploring in this version of the map, you'll realise that the triggers for the original level have been removed. So if you go to the spot where you enter the cutscene to man the sniper rifle, nothing happens. If you continue walking, and be careful for the missing floor, you can see the plant up close.
They found me. Don't worry guys, it's just me. I didn't get captured by the Russian government. But hey, thanks for watching. If you have any Chernobyl games that you want to tell me about, leave it in the comment section below. And if you liked the video, how about doing that subscribe?